Hey everybody, thank you for stopping by. Today I went to Montezuma Castle. I'm going to give you guys a tour and talk about some of the history of this incredible ancient place. But first, let's talk about getting in here. So the place is located in Arizona. The entrance to get in is just $10, so no big deal, and you will have a great time. And let's get into the history. So Montezuma Castle, the biggest thing everybody wants to know is why was it built in the mountains, which was definitely, incredible scenery when you get here. It's a structure in the mountains, very beautiful. So a couple different reasons why they decided to build it here. The biggest one is protection from flooding. The Sinagua Indians built their homes in these cliffs to protect them from the natural flooding from Beaver Creek, and you're gonna see the creek is pretty close to this location. What happens is this creek often overflows during the summer monsoon season, which definitely destroys a lot of the structures. So that was the reason they wanted to build it up there. Also, it's due to the warmth and coolness of the location, and actually the cliff faces south, which kept the dwellings warm in the winter and cool in the summer. And the high location may have helped the Sinagua Indians see approaching travelers from afar. Now, Montezuma Castle is an ancient structure. It's located in the Verde Valley, central Arizona, and it's a 5-story, 20-room building sheltered in a high limestone cliff. And early on, they thought it was actually the home of the Aztec Emperor Montezuma. That was the reason why they gave it the name Montezuma. But what happened is that the later on they actually proved that the place was built by cliff dwelling Sinagua Indians.
I moved from Detroit, Michigan. Here, I got tired of shoveling snow.
Amen.
Amen.
Now, it's estimated that the Sinagua built that Montezuma Castle somewhere between 1100 and 1350 AD, and they erected the structure about one third of the way up, about 150-foot limestone cliff high above that Beaver Creek. Now, these dwelling walls were made from limestone and mud mortar. Large beams covered the smaller beams were used to frame that roof, which was then covered with thatch and mud. And stone axes were actually used to harvest the trees used to make the larger beams. The axes could reportedly drop an average sized tree in 15 minutes, which was impressive. And the walls of the Montezuma Castle were 2 feet thick at the bottom and narrowed to 1 foot thick at the top. The ceilings were about 6 foot high, and the T-shaped doors 5 feet. The doors were kept low and small to preserve the heat in the room. The Sinagua used Montezuma Castle not just as their home, but as a community center where they held community meetings, worked, stored crops and seeds, and even buried their dead family members, most of who didn't live past their life expectancy of 40 years. There's also a Montezuma well as well. So the Montezuma well is located about 6 miles upstream from Montezuma Castle. It's a massive limestone sinkhole caused by a sunken cavern. The well is 55 deep and 368 feet wide. Definitely huge. Underground natural springs constantly pumped over 1.5 million gallons of warm water into the well each day, and ancient dwellings surround the well as well. An ancient irrigation ditch, parts of which are at least 1,000 years old. The Sinagua used the ditch to reroute water to their crops. The ditch was later used by early white settlers, and it's still used today by residents of the Verde Valley. Montezuma Well supports a thriving ecosystem which includes a handful of unique species. The well may be best known, however, for its population of Sonoran mud turtles. The medium-sized water-dwelling turtles are thought to be native to the well. When the population of the Sonoran mud turtles began to decline due to the introduction of the non-native turtle species, the National Park Service intervened and methodically removed the non-native invaders. Now let's go over some of the restoration for Montezuma Castle. What happened is in the late 1800s, looters, the curiosity seekers, and amateur archaeologists definitely ransacked the place, leaving it in danger of crumbling. And in 1897, the Arizona Antiquarian Association fortified the structure and repaired as much damage as possible. And in 1906, President Theodore Roosevelt declared Montezuma Castle, Montezuma Well, and its surrounding 840 acres one of America's first national monuments, guaranteeing its ongoing protection. And the first tourists could tour the abode by climbing ladders up the side of the limestone cliffs, but direct contact left it in despair, and public access ended in 1951.
Across the balcony.
No, really.
You'll also meet women busily preparing food, getting supplies from storerooms, making pottery and grinding corn. Usually women ground the corn, their staple food, only in small as-needed quantities and prepared it in various ways. Weavers used the second floor loom to weave cotton breechcloths, bags, and blankets. Today, you can see examples of their varied weaving patterns in the visitor center. Villagers used the wooden ladders as stairways to carry up provisions from fields and water from Beaver Creek. On the ledge at the base of the central tower-like section, a man prepares to start a fire using a friction drill. Nearby, a young woman awaits the returning hunters who bring wild game as variety to the village diet. We encourage you to think beyond ancient stone walls and vacant rooms to the remains of a once vibrant village. A village of people who experienced wants and needs, anxieties and fears, joys and sorrows, just as you and I today.
Yeah, I visited Montezuma Castle before a couple of years ago, maybe even longer, and that's something, that presentation they added very recently. So it's really great to hear a detailed breakdown of kind of the daily life of the Indians. You know, kind of the more basic life that they had back in the days. Now, for the sinagua Indians, really nobody knows why they migrated away from these their pueblos early in the 1400s. It may be due to the overpopulation, depletion of the resources, of course, disease, and conflicts between different groups, climate change, maybe, or perhaps maybe some spiritual beliefs about the location. You know, whatever the reason, many southern sinagua likely migrated northward to the pueblo villages. Others may have stayed in the valley, in the Verde Valley, and returned to the hunter-gatherer ways. Now, I really appreciate everybody stopping by to kind of hear this tour. Really loved Montezuma Castle, and one of my other favorites, locations. Make sure you guys check it out. Is Wupatki Castle. I have a video of that. Really great breakdown of the place. Great video of it. Make sure you check that out next. And if you've been to Montezuma Castle or you love history in general, please leave a comment. Let me know what you love about Montezuma Castle or what you love about history. Even as a kid, one of my favorite subjects in school was history. Really loved it, and definitely going to these locations is my favorite part about doing these videos. So let me know what you guys love about history, Montezuma Castle, or where in Arizona or somewhere else where you want me to go next to check out some of the other artifacts or history places. And have a great day.